She told me I deserved better, right before sleeping with my stepbrother the night before our wedding. Now she's back 2 weeks before my new wedding saying I'm in danger. I'm Luke, 31M, fire inspector here in Phoenix. Been doing this job for about 5 years now. Moved here after some shit went down back home that I'm about to get into. My fiancée Naomi is a paralegal, 30, sharp as hell, and doesn't take anyone's bullshit. We're getting married in 2 weeks. Small ceremony, close friends, nothing crazy. After what happened last time, we both wanted to keep it simple. 6 years ago, I was engaged to someone else. Brooke. We'd been together since college, and I thought she was it, you know. My stepbrother Tyler, my stepmom's kid from her first marriage, always had this weird competitive thing with me. Dude's 28 now, but acts like he's still in high school. He'd make these comments like, boring life you got there, bro, or wonder how long she'll stick around. I ignored it because honestly I thought he was just immature. The night before my first wedding, Brooke insisted we sleep separately. It's tradition, she said. I stayed at my buddy's place. Around midnight I realized I'd left the ring box and my vows at her hotel room. Figured I'd just grab them real quick since she was probably asleep anyway. I still remember walking down that hallway. Room 347. I had the spare key she'd given me. When I opened that door, they weren't in the middle of anything, they'd just finished. Brooke was sitting on the edge of the bed in her robe. Tyler was pulling his shirt back on, and they were both laughing about something. When Tyler saw me, he didn't even look guilty. He just smirked and said, "Relax, bro, it's just stress relief." My hands were shaking so bad I could barely hold my phone, but I managed to take one photo. Then I walked out. Didn't yell, didn't throw a punch, just left. I texted everyone in the wedding party that it was canceled, packed my car, and drove to Phoenix that same night. Didn't talk to my dad for 8 months. My stepmom actually tried to defend Tyler, said I was overreacting and boys will be boys. My dad didn't say much of anything, I think he was too ashamed. Fast forward to now. Naomi and I have been together for 3 years. She knows everything about what happened. We've built something real, something honest. But 2 weeks ago I started getting messages from Brooke. Different number, DMs on social media, even a message through a mutual friend. All saying the same thing, "I need to talk to you, you're in danger, please." She wouldn't say what danger, just kept insisting we meet alone. When Naomi saw the messages, she was straight up about it. Nope. Whatever she has to say, she can say it in public with me there. I agreed to meet Brooke at this busy coffee place downtown called The Grid. Lots of people, open space, nowhere for drama to get out of hand. That was supposed to be yesterday. But 2 days ago I got an email from an anonymous address. No subject line, just one sentence. Ask Brooke what really happened that night. Tyler wasn't the only one. I showed Naomi. We both just stared at it for a while. What the hell does that mean? Was there someone else in the room? Did Brooke set me up somehow? Is this person trying to help me or mess with me? The meeting is tomorrow morning. I don't know what to expect anymore. Part of me wants to just block Brooke and move on with my life, but that email, something's not right. Naomi says we go, we listen, and if it's bullshit we walk away and never look back. But here's what's really got me losing sleep. What if Brooke's telling the truth about the danger? What if Tyler's planning something for my wedding? The dude's vindictive enough to pull some stunt. And if that anonymous email is real, what the hell else don't I know about that night? I guess I'll find out tomorrow. We'll update after the meeting if anything worth sharing happens. Update 1. Okay, so the Wi-Fi at my place has been absolute garbage since the storm we had last week. Just got it fixed this morning. Sorry for the delay, but holy shit do I have an update for you guys. The meeting was yesterday. Naomi and I got to the Grid around 10 a.m. I sat at a table near the window. Naomi took the table right next to mine, close enough to hear everything but giving the appearance of space. My buddy Jake wanted to come too, but I told him no, didn't want it to look like we were ganging up on her. Brooke showed up 15 minutes late. And man, she looked rough. Not the put-together person I remembered. She'd lost weight, had dark circles under her eyes, and her hands were shaking when she sat down. She ordered a black coffee and just stared at it for a minute before she started talking. "I know you hate me," she said. "I know I don't deserve your time, but I came back because Tyler contacted me 3 weeks ago. He's looking for you." I felt Naomi tense up at the table next to us, but she stayed quiet. "Why would I care if Tyler's looking for me?" I asked. "I haven't talked to him in 6 years." Brooke pulled out her phone and slid it across to me. Text messages from a number she had saved as "Do Not Answer." Recent ones. From 2 weeks ago. "Heard Luke's getting married again. That's sweet." Then 5 days ago. "Guess who's getting married again? Let's make it memorable." And then 3 days ago. "You gonna warn him or should I surprise both of you?" My stomach dropped. Memorable how? That's when Brooke started crying. Not like dramatic sobbing, but quiet tears rolling down her face while she tried to keep her voice steady. "Luke, I need to tell you something about that night. Something I should have told you 6 years ago, but I couldn't." Naomi had moved to our table by this point. She wasn't even pretending anymore. "Go on," she said, her paralegal voice coming out calm, direct, no emotion. Brooke looked at her, then back at me. "That night, I didn't plan what happened. I know how it looked. I know what you saw, but Tyler brought me a drink after you left for your friend's place. Said it was champagne to celebrate, one last toast before I became Mrs. Whoever." She laughed bitterly at that. "I don't remember most of what happened after I drank it. I remember feeling dizzy. I remember him helping me to the bed. Then it's just pieces, flashes." "Are you saying he drugged you?" Naomi asked directly. Brooke hesitated. "I can't prove it, but when you walked in, when I saw your face, I was so scared. Not because you caught me, because I knew Tyler had won whatever sick game he was playing. And when you left, he told me that if I ever told you the truth, he'd destroy your life. He said he had evidence that would make it look like I seduced him. He said he'd tell everyone you were abusive. He said he'd ruin the career you were trying to build. So you just disappeared," I said. My voice came out harder than I meant it to. "He told me if I kept my mouth shut and left, he'd leave you alone. If I contacted you, he'd come after both of us." She wiped her eyes. "I moved to Tucson, changed my number, deleted my social media. I thought that was the end of it. But then he found me again 3 weeks ago, and he's asking about your wedding, about Naomi. He knows where you live, Luke." I felt cold all over. Naomi's jaw was tight. "Did you keep those messages he sent you back then?" she asked. "No," Brooke said. "I was too scared. I deleted everything." "What about the new ones?" "I have screenshots." "Good," Naomi said. "We're going to need those." I was still processing. "Why would he contact you now? Why would he risk bringing this all back up?" Brooke's voice dropped to almost a whisper. "Because he knows you moved on, and he can't stand that you're happy. He told me once that the only reason he did what he did was to prove he could. That he could take something that was yours." The rest of the meeting was Naomi asking very specific questions, dates, times, what Tyler said, where he might be now if he'd made any specific threats. Brooke answered everything. She gave Naomi her phone to screenshot the messages. She even offered to make a formal statement if we needed it. When we left, I honestly didn't know how to feel. Part of me wanted to believe her. Part of me wondered if this was some elaborate manipulation. Naomi was quiet the whole drive home, which meant she was thinking hard. That night, she sat me down at the kitchen table with her laptop. "Here's what we're going to do," she said. "We're not playing his game. We're not having some dramatic confrontation at a bar. If Tyler is threatening us, we document everything, we involve the police if necessary, and we make damn sure our wedding is locked down tighter than Fort Knox." "You think he'll actually try something?" I asked. "I think your stepbrother is a narcissistic asshole who's been obsessed with you for years. And I think if Brooke's telling even half the truth, we need to take this seriously." She paused. "There's something else. That anonymous email you got. Yeah. I think whoever sent it knows something we don't. Something about that night that even Brooke might not be aware of." She looked at me. "I think there's more to this story, Luke. And I think we need to find out what it is before our wedding day. So now we're in full investigation mode. Naomi's using her paralegal connections to see if Tyler has any kind of record, restraining orders, complaints, anything. I'm reaching out to people who were around back then, seeing if anyone remembers anything weird. We've also hired security for the wedding, changed our hotel reservations, and put passwords on all our vendor accounts so no one can call pretending to be us and cancel things. But here's the kicker. Yesterday, I got another message from that same anonymous email address. This time it said, "Tyler's done this before. Ask about Denver 2019. I don't know what happened in Denver in 2019, but I'm about to find out. Naomi's already on it. And honestly, I'm starting to think that whatever we're about to uncover, it's going to be way worse than what happened to me 6 years ago. Tyler wants to make this wedding memorable. Fine. But not the way he's planning. This time I'm not running. This time I'm ready for whatever he's got. And if he's been doing this to other people, he's about to learn what happens when you push someone too far. We'll update once we figure out the Denver connection. This is getting bigger than I thought. Update 2. Sorry for the radio silence. My truck's been in the shop all week for transmission issues, and I've been pulling double shifts covering for a guy on medical leave. Finally have a minute to sit down and update you guys. And holy hell, this situation just went from bad to what the actual hell. First thing Naomi did was use her paralegal resources to run a background check on Tyler. Nothing criminal showed up. He's too smart for that, but she found something interesting. A sealed civil case in Colorado from 2019. She couldn't get the details since it's sealed, but the case type was listed as harassment-threatening behavior. The plaintiff's name was redacted, but the defendant was Tyler Morrison, my stepbrother. I called my buddy Bill, who moved to Denver around 2018, asked if he remembered Tyler visiting around that time. Turns out Tyler had been living there for about 8 months in 2019, working at some tech startup. Bill said he heard rumors that Tyler got fired for inappropriate workplace behavior, but didn't know specifics. Naomi put on her detective hat. She found the startup's name, looked up former employees on LinkedIn, and actually messaged a few of them explaining, vaguely, that we were looking into Tyler's history for personal safety reasons. 3 people responded. One of them, a woman named Brenda, agreed to a phone call. What Brenda told us made my blood run cold. Tyler had apparently targeted her friend Emily at that company. Started off friendly, then began making comments about Emily's boyfriend, saying the guy wasn't good enough for her, that she could do better with someone like Tyler. When Emily rejected him, he started spreading rumors that they'd hooked up. Then he allegedly drugged her drink at a company happy hour. She woke up in a hotel room with no memory of how she got there, and Tyler was gone. She tried to file a police report, but there wasn't enough evidence. She settled with Tyler privately to avoid a lengthy court battle, hence the sealed case. I had to step outside after that call. I was shaking, not with fear, with rage. This wasn't just some asshole stepbrother rivalry. Tyler's a predator. He's done this to multiple women, and I'd been walking around for 6 years thinking Brooke had just cheated on me. We called Brooke immediately, put her on speaker. Naomi asked her point blank, "Did Tyler record anything that night?" Long silence. Then, "Yes." "What did he record?" "Everything," Brooke said, her voice barely above a whisper. "He had his phone propped up on the dresser. I didn't notice it until after. He showed me the video the next morning. Told me if I ever tried to tell you the truth, he'd send it to everyone, your family, your job, everyone. He said he'd edit it to make it look like I initiated everything. That's why I left, Luke. That's why I couldn't stay." Naomi's expression was ice cold. "Do you know if he still has this video?" "I don't know, but knowing Tyler, yeah, probably. He uses it like insurance." After we hung up, Naomi and I just sat there for a while. Then she pulled up her laptop and started drafting emails. "We're going to the police," she said. "We're filing for a restraining order. We're putting everything on record, and we're going to make sure your wedding has more security than a presidential visit." "He's going to come anyway," I said. "He won't be able to resist." "Good," Naomi said, "because this time we'll be ready for him." 2 days later, Tyler reached out, not to me, to my dad. Left a voicemail saying he heard I was getting married and wanted to bury the hatchet and support his brother. My dad actually called me, said Tyler sounded sincere. I told my dad everything, the Denver case, Brenda's story, what Brooke had said about being drugged and blackmailed. My dad went quiet. Then he said, "I'll handle this." But Tyler was done playing through intermediaries. Yesterday morning I got a text from an unknown number. Congrats on the new bride, bro. Want to see a throwback? I've got some great memories saved from your first wedding. Think Naomi would enjoy watching. I showed Naomi. She didn't even blink. He's threatening to distribute revenge porn, which is illegal in Arizona. Screenshot this. Forward it to me. We're adding it to the evidence file. What if he actually sends it to people? I asked. Then he commits a felony and gets arrested. But he won't, because he's a coward who only has power when people are scared of him, and we're not scared anymore. She set up a meeting with a lawyer friend of hers who specializes in harassment cases. We walked through everything. The lawyer said we had enough for a temporary restraining order and possibly enough to reopen an investigation if Brooke was willing to formally cooperate. Brooke was. She came to Phoenix, went to the police station, and made a full statement. She turned over her phone with all the messages. She gave them everything she had about that night 6 years ago. I sat in the waiting room while she did it, and when she came out her eyes were red, but she looked lighter somehow. "Thank you," I told her. "I mean it. I should have done this years ago," she said. "I let him control my life for too long. I'm done hiding." The temporary restraining order was granted yesterday afternoon. Tyler can't come within 500 feet of me, Naomi, our home, or our wedding venue. If he violates it, he gets arrested on the spot. I texted him back from the lawyer's office. Short message. Got your text. Forward anything you want. My attorney and the Phoenix PD are waiting. By the way, you're legally required to stay 500 feet away from me now. See you never. His response came an hour later. You think a piece of paper stops me? I'll be there to wish you well. Maybe I'll have a speech prepared. Maybe your bride should know what runs in the family. I forwarded it immediately. Naomi called the police, updated them, added it to the file. He's going to show up, she said. He can't help himself. His whole identity is built around dominating you, and he just got slapped with a restraining order. He's going to try to prove he's still in control. So what do? We let him come. We have security. We have the police on standby. We have cameras everywhere. And when he violates that order, he goes to jail. She looked at me. This ends at our wedding, Luke. One way or another, Tyler doesn't touch our lives after this. The wedding is in 4 days. We've moved everything to a different venue, didn't tell anyone except the absolute inner circle. We've hired 3 security guards. I've got friends from the department who are going to be there in plainclothes just in case. Our photographer knows to keep cameras rolling. Every entrance is monitored, and if Tyler shows up, he's done. Because this time everything is documented, everything is legal, and everything is ready. He wanted to make this wedding memorable. It's going to be memorable, all right, as the day he finally faced consequences for what he's been doing for years. Naomi squeezed my hand this morning and said, 4 more days. Then we start our life together, and Tyler Morrison becomes someone else's problem, preferably the correctional systems. I'm trying not to think about it too much, trying to focus on the fact that in 4 days I'm marrying someone who didn't run when this got complicated, who stood next to me through all of this, who turned what could have been a disaster into a strategic takedown. But yeah, I'm not sleeping great. Every time my phone buzzes, I expect another threat from Tyler. Next update will probably be after the wedding. Assuming everything goes according to plan and I'm not writing this from a police station or a hospital. Wish us luck. Final update, we're married. I'm writing this from a hotel room in Sedona where we're spending a few days before heading back to reality. And yeah, Tyler showed up, but not the way he planned. The wedding was yesterday. We'd moved venues to this private estate outside Phoenix that a friend of Naomi's family owns. Guest list was small, maybe 40 people. Security was tight. Everyone had to show ID to get in. We'd given security a photo of Tyler and clear instructions. If he tries to enter, call police immediately. Ceremony was at 5 p.m. Beautiful day, not too hot for once. My buddy Jake was my best man. Naomi's sister was maid of honor. Everything was going perfectly. I was standing up at the altar waiting for Naomi to walk down the aisle when I saw one of the security guys talking into his radio near the entrance gate. My heart sank, but I didn't break focus. Naomi appeared at the top of the aisle, and I swear everything else disappeared. She looked incredible, and when she got to me and took my hands, she whispered, "He's here, isn't he?" "I think so," I whispered back. "Good," she said out loud, smiling at me. "Let them handle it, we're getting married." And we did. The ceremony was perfect. I didn't think about Tyler once during the vows, only focused on Naomi, on the life we were starting, on everything we'd been through to get here. When the officiant said, "You may kiss the bride," I heard sirens in the distance, but I didn't care. We kissed, everyone cheered, and we walked back down the aisle as husband and wife. Security filled us in afterward. Tyler had shown up at the main gate around 4:45 p.m., tried to talk his way in. Said he was family, that there must be a misunderstanding, that he just wanted to support his brother. When security denied him entry and told him there was a restraining order, he got loud. Started yelling about how I was a coward, how I'd stolen his family, how this was all a big misunderstanding about what happened years ago. That's when he made his big mistake. He tried to force his way past security, grabbed one of the guards, pushed him aside, started running toward the ceremony site. Security tackled him, held him down, and called the police. Tyler was arrested right there for violating the restraining order and assault on the security guard. But here's the thing that really sealed it. When the police searched Tyler's phone, which they could do because of the restraining order violation and assault, they found the video, the one from 6 years ago, and they found other videos from Denver, from other situations. Tyler had been keeping trophies. The detective called me this morning to let me know. Tyler's being held on multiple charges now. Not just the restraining order violation and assault, but distribution of intimate images without consent, revenge porn, blackmail, and they're coordinating with Colorado authorities about the Denver case. Several women have already come forward after his arrest was reported. Naomi took the call with me. When the detective hung up, she just looked at me and said, "It's over." And it is. Tyler's looking at serious prison time. The DA's office is building a case that could result in felony charges across multiple states. My dad called yesterday, completely broken up, apologizing for not believing me sooner, for not protecting me from Tyler better. I told him it wasn't his fault. Tyler fooled everyone for years. I saw Brooke one more time before the wedding. We met at a coffee shop, just the two of us. I told her I didn't forgive her for the 6 years I lost thinking she'd betrayed me, but I understood why she stayed silent. And I told her she needed to take back her life now, that Tyler couldn't control her anymore. She cried, said she was starting therapy, that she'd moved back here to Arizona to be closer to her family and start over. I told her I hoped things got better for her. Then I left. I don't think we'll talk again, and that's okay. Some chapters need to close completely. Naomi and I spent the rest of our wedding night celebrating with the people we love. No drama, no interruptions, just happiness. We danced until midnight. Jake gave a speech about how proud he was of me for not letting Tyler ruin another major moment in my life. Everyone toasted to new beginnings. Now we're here in Sedona for a few days, away from everything. Hiking, eating good food, just being married. It feels surreal that it's actually over, that Tyler's gone, that we can just live our lives now without looking over our shoulders. Revenge isn't about humiliating someone in front of a crowd or making some dramatic scene. It's about not letting the person who tried to destroy you touch your life ever again. It's about bringing them into the light so they can't hide in the shadows anymore. Tyler thought he was untouchable. Turns out he was just a coward with a phone full of evidence against himself. Naomi just woke up. We're going to go watch the sunrise from Cathedral Rock, then maybe hit up that breakfast place everyone's been recommending. Life feels normal again, which is weird after everything. But it's a good weird. Thanks to everyone who commented and supported us through this. It means more than you know. This is my last update on this situation. Moving forward with my life now, with my wife, without Tyler. That's all I wanted and that's what I got. Take care, everyone.